Hello makers! In today's video I'm going to be sharing a technique that I wrote about in a tutorial on the Ranger Ink blog. So if you'd like to see the step-out photos, read the step-by-step instructions, go ahead and click the link in the description for today's video. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get started with today's video. My assignment for today was to do a tutorial using microglaze, and Distress Microglaze is one of my favorite products in the Distress line. I love it, and I have done a few tutorials, but today I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I reached for one of my 3D texture fades, and for this technique you're going to want a texture fade that has a bold pattern to it. And so this is the metal floor. So you can see that the pattern's nice and thick, and so you want something that is going to hold the microglaze because we're going to be putting microglaze on it. So really thin isn't going to work. I'm going to use some white Heavystock, but later on I'm also going to throw in a little bit of Kraft and a little bit of black Heavystock as well. So keep that in mind. All right. Now you also need some spray, either stains or I used spray oxides for today. And that's pretty much going to do it for the products that we're using. So let's go ahead and let's get making. I'm going to start by, of course, embossing my white Heavystock, and then I'm putting some microglaze on my finger. And then do you see how I smoothed it out on the media mat? And then I'm going in and I'm gently applying that microglaze to the raised areas only. I want to be sure and try and keep it from getting down into the depressed areas. I just want it to be on the parts that are foremost on that surface and that are sticking out the most. You can see how I'm going in and I'm just picking up a little bit more from that area, smoothing it out so I don't have any clumps or globs that I am globbing onto this. I want just a nice thin layer. And if you feel like you did it the first time and maybe you didn't get enough, I would still just go with a little bit on my finger, go over the whole thing, and then maybe you go over it all a second time lightly with uh, a little bit of microglaze on your finger. But you can see I'm just kind of going around and I'm just lightly pressing on all those raised areas, getting a nice layer, but a thin layer all over the raised areas, and continue that all the way around on the background piece. Now this background piece is already cut down to size before I embossed it. In the folder, I cut it to 4 inches by 5 1/4 so that when I put it on a card base, there will be a mat. Now I'm going to spray my oxides on here. I am using Antique Linen Oxide Spray, Speckled Egg Oxide Spray, and Bundled Sage Oxide Spray. Now that I have sprayed it on there, I wanted to show you, you can see where I got that micro glaze and where I got a nice layer of it, it's beading up on top of that. All right, and so that tells me that I did get microglaze on there, and I'm just laying a paper towel over and wiping it up off of those raised areas where I had the microglaze. And I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and dry it. And it's going to change when I dry it a little bit too. So I wanted to show this to you. I have edged it in walnut stain oxide, but look at how cool that looks with just a little bit of resist here and there. It's not perfectly resisted all the way. I really love how it's very distressed looking. Now, remember that Kraft and the black Heavystock that I was talking about. I used my bundled stage oxide and I sprayed it on a few small pieces because the alphabet that I chose, this is Bulletin by Holtz and Sizzix. It has an outline to this alpha, and so I cut it out of both pieces, and then I ended up with actually 2 sentiments. And the lucky thing is, whenever I do one of these tutorials, I usually do 1 or 2 backgrounds. And so because I had already done another background, I just used the second sentiment for my second background. So one of the cards has a sentiment with the Kraft outline and the black lettering, and the other one has the Kraft lettering and the black outline. Next, I needed to get some card bases for both of these, and I wanted to show you what they look like on 2 different card bases. So here is one on white, which is what I planned in the beginning. But then when I had the 2 sentiments, I thought, I might want to see what one of them looked like with the black outline on the sentiment if I put it on a black card base. And I feel like this black card base was a little too stark. So I decided maybe if I took an oxide and I rubbed over the background, then it might soften it a little bit and make it look a little bit better. So that's what I did. I actually grabbed my bundled sage and my oxide blending, and I blended some bundled sage all the way around the outside edge of that card base, and that softened it just enough so that I thought it went really well with this card and helped make the sentiment stand out a little bit more. It's time to assemble, and as you can see, I put some Distress Collage Medium on the back of my card background, and now I'm applying some to the back of each of the letters for my sentiment, and then I'm just pressing them onto the background, and that's all I'm going to do. I really wanted the background to stand out on this, and there is nothing wrong with a really simple card. Now, I could have sewn around the background, I could have drawn around the background instead of sewing around it, or even stamped some of the, stitching, something like that. But really, I want these backgrounds to shine. I spent time on them, and so that's why I just kept these really simple with just a bold sentiment in the bottom right corner. Well, let's take a minute to admire our work. So as you look at this, you can see how the micro glaze, when I applied it lightly, it didn't get down into all the little crevices and definitely didn't get into the debossed areas. And so it allowed that oxide to kind of settle in there and really showcase the beauty of that embossing folder. And then on this one, you can see there are some areas where I really didn't get enough micro glaze, but it still is such a great look, isn't it? So I love both of them, even though they're a little bit different in the way that I applied the same technique. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's really quick technique using microglaze. Again, one of my favorite products from Tim Holtz Ranger Distress. So, also, if you'd like to see the written instructions and a list of all the things and all of that, please go to the link in my description for today's video, and it will take you straight to the Ranger blog where you can see all the step-up photos and such to be able to follow that. And as always, there are links for these products in the description for today's video as well. And with that, I want to thank you so much for watching and wish you a very creative day.